thumb.
Today on Reviews on the Run, we go a little ape with the tie-wearing gorilla Donkey Kong. We take a look back at all the monkey madness through the past years and make our way to his triumphant return back to the consoles with Donkey Kong Country Returns. Welcome to Reviews on the Run. We're enjoying our potassium intake for the day. We eat these all the time, not just for
I totally understand now why Donkey Kong is obsessed with bananas, because they are delicious.
They are delicious.
They make you feel good.
He's also obsessed with Pauline, as we're about to find out in Miniland Mayhem for the DS. DS gamers, Nintendo has a Mario treat for you. I'm calling it a treat already. It's called Mario vs. Donkey Kong Miniland Mayhem.
You know what's a treat? Seeing Pauline, my old girlfriend again. She's back.
Mario!
Donkey Kong, once again, scoops her up.
Because he can't have the Pauline toy, and he gets all infuriated and grabs the real thing and runs away with it.
The game opens with a brief cinematic that shows Mario giving away Pauline little collectibles. And let me tell you something, you wanted one.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so did Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
They only go to the first 100 people through the gate.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong turns out to be the 101st person doesn't get his Pauline collectible.
Yeah.
So he goes on a rampage.
Come back here, you big monkey!
And we've seen the Mario vs. Donkey Kong gameplay before. This is, single screen or double screen. Basically, you see most of the environments before you, and you have to kind of manipulate your little Mario toys.
Yeah, it's a cross between Pikmin and Lemmings.
Yes.
And, you activate your little Mario mini characters, and they start going along a little path. They're little wind-up toys that are so cute.
It's very cute. And lots of really good brain-teasing puzzles to kind of figure out using the environmental stuff. There's tracks to lay and little bouncy, springy things that'll bounce you up to the other thing. You can pick up hammers and knock out bad guys every once in a while.
This is a funny game for me because I really admire this.
Yeah.
And I really love the Nintendo theme and the music and the art and the colors.
Me
and
too.
It's so flashy and the cartoonish.
Yeah.
But there's something annoying about this series for me, and I don't know what it is.
Well,
I don't ever want to play it endlessly the way that I want to play Angry Birds, and I don't know why.
They're not as indelible as the other Mario adventures or even Donkey Kong back in the day. It's like a crossword puzzle sort of stimulation. But I do love the fact that there's online connectivity now to be able to save and download lots of created levels, which is awesome. I felt like when they put the DSiWare version of this game out, that was the right direction for this series to go. I don't know if
Does it need to be on a cartridge?
It needs to be a full-price cartridge. I mean, it's awesome that there's a lot more content. It's double the amount of built-in content, and then there's all kinds of downloadable stuff that you can do. I think it's worth it. I really like it, but it's not the best that Mario can be.
I really admire and respect this game, and I think if you only buy a couple of games a year, this should be one of those games because there's so much to it. But I don't want to play anymore.
It's not as addictive as Super Mario Brothers DS or anything like that.
Please, save me!
What are you going to give Mario in Miniland Mayhem?
6.5 for me, Vic.
I am going to give it an 8 out of 10.
You know what? We got more Donkey Kong goodness right after this.
It's rude that we're eating, isn't it?
It's not at all.
No? It's all right?
Okay, I'm comfortable.
We've still got plenty of bananas to collect on Reviews on the Run, and after the break, we check out a bunch of classic Donkey Kong games, including the N64 favorite, and we bust out the Donkey Kongas.
Welcome back to the studio. Donkey Kong is one of the most enduring video game icons of all time.
We all love him. He's very, very important to this video game industry. He's very hairy, and he's always a good foil for our beloved Mario. We've been reviewing Donkey Kong games for a very long time on this show. Take a look.
Donkey Kong 64.
Long and boring and not enough action and adventure. I love Donkey Kong Country. I thought they were going to make the next version of Donkey Kong Country on the N64, and it was so not that.
There's awesome graphics in this game, but they're spread out. Like, it takes a long time to get to the really cool areas. It's a game of collecting stuff, so once you've collected all your bananas or weaponry, you're just walking through empty areas. I did like the multiplayer gaming in there. I thought the multiplayer is probably the most enjoyable part of it.
I didn't like that either. I mean, two monkeys. There's no map, so you have no idea where your other monkey is.
I don't have a problem with the fact that they're the cartoon monkeys. I think you're probably sick of these little cartoon characters.
I didn't mind that as much as just the controls. I didn't like the controls in the multiplayer. What would you give this on a scale of 1 to 10, though?
8.5.
Technically, it's a great game. Fun factor, way low. Bored the skulls out of me. Graphics weren't that great. Didn't like the controls. 5.5.
Wow.
Very average.
It's not average.
At best.
No way. It's not an average
Technically,
game.
it's better.
No way.
Hey,
You're
I play
totally
games.
off base.
I play games because they're fun, not because they're technically great.
Of course, but
I didn't have fun playing this.
There's lots of fun.
I didn't have fun playing
There's lots of fun in this game. It's just
maybe you found some, but I didn't.
There's long stretches in between the fun.
Yeah, it's long
that's my
stretches,
problem.
right. No.
It deserves higher than 5.5.
It doesn't.
8.5. Mario versus Donkey Kong is kind of a strange twist on Mario. It's two screens.
It's almost like Mario meets Lemmings
in some capacity.
In some areas, but
it's an update to the 1994 Donkey Kong game that was out for the Game Boy. It's all puzzle solving. It's not real exploration.
Right, and it's all pretty much 1 or 2 screens high.
Right.
But the backgrounds are kind of just like color blurred out.
Yes.
So you don't get these big, vibrant colors. This game really isn't about the graphics at all. Although what is cool is
3D
Mario actually is in 3D.
Very cool,
so when you're doing flips off of poles and things, you actually see him moving in 3D, which I thought was a nice touch.
I also liked all of the little still frame cutscenes that they've got in there with the little story sequences going on.
This is probably the best sounding Game Boy Advance game ever of all time.
It does sound really good.
I mean, the music is excellent. The voiceovers are funny.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And the quality is so high.
It's more puzzle solving and trying to just get from one screen to the next, these single type screens in Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I was surprised that I beat the game as quickly as I did. I got through all the levels. There's only about 50 different levels, and then there's a harder version that you can play and unlock. What would you give Mario vs. Donkey Kong?
I'd give that a 9.5.
I would give that an 8.5. Donkey Konga. This is a game where you bongo along to different songs that are played, and it's very much like the Dance Dance Revolution, Parappa the Rappa, even Karaoke Revolution style of games.
As far as the interaction with the game, if you took away the Congo part, you're just pressing buttons. There's nothing that happened within the game which depending on how good or bad you did.
I kind of agree with you there. I think the ball was dropped. I think there could have been a little bit more effort put into the presentation of Donkey Konga. You could have definitely seen more animated little bits there with the characters getting into the music and celebrating that you're getting the smacks right.
It's a Nintendo first-party game, so you're expecting all of that depth.
Right.
You're expecting 50 different modes.
They did give you some cool stuff. There's different difficulty levels too. You start on the monkey level, you start on then you go to the chimp, and then you get into the gorilla. And this stuff is broken down in different songs. And you get about 30 different songs on there that range from campfire songs and sort of kid-type music
to classical. It is important to mention, though, that these are replicas of the songs. They're not the actual real songs.
No, it's like Karaoke Revolution where they redid the music.
They redid the music.
They did the same thing. And it also becomes a lot more challenging, too, when you're playing with other players because you're hearing all of these different beats coming from every different angle, and you get lost in the rhythm. But in terms of what the gameplay is, basically you're just following a line of different types of hits. You can have your left drum or your right drum or both drums together or the clap.
Or there's a hold line as well, so if you hold the left as much as you can or the right one as much as you can.
And it sounds, pretty simple, but it actually can be a little bit challenging if you're not a composer of video game soundtracks.
All right.
But, overall, I thought Donkey Konga was pretty darn cool. I agree with you. I don't think it has tons and tons of staying power, but I think it's fun to play with other people, and I think it's definitely a game that GameCube owners should check out this season. I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 7.
People tell me a lot that I look like Clark Kent crossed with a monkey. Yeah. We'll have more lookalikes right after this.
The monkey business keeps on coming as we keep the rhythm going with Donkey Konga 2 and then use the jungle beat to squash some baddies.